This is MrBeast, and this is me. Yeah, I'm not bullshitting you guys. This is not clickbait. I've actually been in a MrBeast video, and today I'm going to talk about my experience and, how exactly I got into the MrBeast video. Hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so for the first reason, and by far the funniest way to get into a MrBeast video, I met a girl on Tinder who actually worked for MrBeast. So this all started back of April of 2022, and one of my best friends invited me to go to Emerald Isle, which is a nice little beach area off the coast of North Carolina. He invited me to go for a couple of days with some of his family, and I said, yeah, sure. I'd love to go. I haven't been to the beach in like 10 years before that, and I thought it would be a fun thing to do. So we get down to the beach, we go to the beach, get in the water. Even though it's freezing cold, we still had fun. And the luckiest part about this is we got there the weekend before all the tourists and all the people, they come in for vacation. Since for my school, our spring break was a week earlier than everyone else's spring break. So we had the whole beach pretty much to ourselves, except for, the people that actually live there. But I mean, they're not tourists. They've been living there for a while, so it's not crazy at all. So yeah, we had the whole beach to ourselves, this miles and miles and miles of beach. And out of that, there was like two families there, and they were way further down. So, we had an entire, strip of the beach to ourselves. So we were loving it there. But after either the first night or the second night, we thought it'd be a fun idea to both me and him download Tinder and, just swipe around and just see what chicks were down there. We were hoping to go to a couple parties and, maybe get wasted or, just have fun at the beach. And, we're like 2.5 hours away from where we normally live. And so all these girls down there, I mean, nothing really, is going to happen out of this, nothing, long term. So we weren't really expecting anything. So we weren't really like paying attention to the chicks that we were looking at. We were just swipe. Like, we weren't even looking at it. We were playing Fortnite because my friend Reed brought his PlayStation. Like I said, we were just playing Fortnite, just chilling, and we were just swiping between matches. We weren't looking at any, of these girls because we really had no interest in them. We were just trying to go to a couple parties and stuff, and that was about it. But a few hours later, after, swiping on all these people, I don't know how many swipes. Almost, you get a handful of swipes before, you run out. And you have to pay for whatever premium or platinum version. Yeah, I'm not paying for fucking Tinder. That's stupid. But, after a few hours and stuff, I ended up looking at my phone and I got a match by 2 or 3 people. I'm like, huh, okay, let's see how they look like. And I ended up swiping on this one girl, and she was not my type at all. Like, not very attractive to me. She was still a very, nice girl. I wasn't gonna be a dick and just completely ghost her because I felt bad because I was just swiping, for shits and giggles. I start talking to this girl, and she's super interested in me, and I felt bad because, like I said, I live 2 hours away or 2.5 hours away. I know nothing is actually gonna come out of this. I was just hoping to get to a couple parties, and this girl was actually interested, so she was talking. I mean, like I said, she was very polite, so I didn't mind talking back. And after a while of talking, she said, hey, can I get your Instagram and Snapchat? So I was like, yeah, sure. Like I said, I don't want to be rude. And I said, she was a nice girl, just, wasn't my type. But yeah, I gave her my Instagram and Snapchat. She added me, and I wanted to go add her on Instagram. And I saw one of her posts that she's working for MrBeast. I was like, yo, that's fucking cool. How'd you get to work for MrBeast? And, because she's in cosmetology school, and she actually met them when she did the makeup for one of the production managers. It was her wedding, and so the production manager hired her to do the makeup because she was local and lived nearby. Because MrBeast is located in Greenville, so she was going to school at ECU and doing cosmetology, and so she got hired to do the makeup. And after the wedding, this production manager was like, "Hey, ma'am, you did a great job on the makeup. It looks great. I love it. Thank you so much. How would you like to work for MrBeast? I'm one of the production managers. We always put makeup for the crew on set." Not like, crazy shit, but just like little touch-ups here and there. So if they're, with the lighting, they may look better. Or like when Jimmy does all the thumbnails, we do little touch-ups and stuff. And how would you like to do that? And of course, she was like, oh my gosh, wow, that's amazing. And she was actually in one of the MrBeast videos, and she was showing me videos. It was the one, like, if you sit in a room full of snakes, you win a bunch of money. On that video, she wasn't necessarily with the snakes, but she was in that video. And I'm not gonna say exactly who she was because I'm not gonna call her out, but I knew what she looked like from her Instagram and from her Tinder profile, and then she showed me the one in the video. Boom, that was her, and I was like, oh shit, okay, so she's not bullshitting. She's telling the truth, and yeah, and she was like, hey, do you want to be in a MrBeast video? And I was like, dude, fuck yeah, that'd be awesome. And she was like, yeah, so the only thing you have to do is just be over the age of 18 and be vaccinated, and that's it. And then they're gonna ask for a vax card, but yeah, just send them a picture of your vax card and your ID. If they email you about the video, and you're all set. I was like, dude, that'd be so awesome. How can I put in for this? What's it called? They always need new people for videos, and so I'm there all the time doing stuff for them. So yeah, I can 100% put in a recommendation because they're always looking for people for videos. And fun fact, if you guys didn't know about this, most of the contestants are all college students from ECU. A good probably 80% of every participant in those videos are all ECU college students. And so what's it called? If you look at their TikTok videos, so lately they go around, they asking these college students, hey, would you do so and so for a Feastables bar, or would you do so and so for $100? All those college students, that's all ECU. Every time they're always going to ECU, they're always picking students that are chilling out, and they ask them if they want to be in videos. So if you want to be in a MrBeast video, go to ECU in North Carolina. But yeah. So she said, yeah, I'll 100% put your put you in a word for you. Like I said, as long as you have the vax card and you're 18, we're all set. And so I ended up getting a call in the middle of my third period course in high school. Now this was ROTC, and we were already done with everything for the year. So pretty much all the seniors, because there was only 4 or 5 seniors in my ROTC course, and then it was filled with a bunch of like sophomores, freshmen, and juniors. So we had this one room. It was like a spare. It used to be like an old office, but then it turned to like a supply room for ROTC for extra like paper. Like they had a printer and a couple table stuff. But it ended up being a room for all the seniors. So it was like me, a couple guys, and 2 girls. We all just hung out there. Like I said, it was like the last couple weeks of school. We were done with everything. We done with all our tests, all of our I guess drills that we had to do for ROTC, and we pretty much just had this room to ourselves. And so me and all the seniors were all just talking, laughing, making jokes, playing cards, and all of a sudden I get a phone call from the production manager, and she's like, "Hey, I'm looking for Reagan Van Winkle. Is this it?" And like I had the phone on speakerphone because it's like a little inside joke that we have with in RTC that we just keep the phones on speakerphone. And I'm like, yeah, sure, yeah, this is Reagan. Why? Who is this? Hi, I'm so and so from MrBeast. You got recommended to be in a video. How would you like to do it? And of course, I put the phone on mute for like a split second. I look at the rest of the group, and I'm like, everyone, shut the fuck up. I'm on the phone with MrBeast. And then because they hear it and they're like, holy shit. Because I already told them about the Tinder thing, so they already knew about this in the past. And I was like, yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah. How do I, do this? Yeah, what's called? We just need your email, and we'll email you a bunch of stuff, and like paperwork that you gotta sign, and like NDAs and all that stuff. So if you guys didn't know, when they sent me over, or any contestant over the paperwork, it's an NDA saying you're not gonna tell people what it is because they're worried about if other creators, like big creators on YouTube, post a video like the same as theirs before they post it out, that creator can possibly get a lot of views on it, and when MrBeast puts the video out, it's not, gonna be as popular because a YouTuber has already done this video. So I had to sign 2 or 3, I think it was 2 NDAs saying, yeah, I won't tell anybody, what the theme of the video, because they said it was 100 boys versus 100 girls challenge video. That's all they said. They didn't say what it was. They just said it was that. And I signed, the one NDA was, I won't tell anyone what's happening. The other NDA is after I learn about the video, because of course you're gonna be in the video, you're gonna know what's happening. They said you can't tell no one, you can't tell your best friend, you can't tell your mom, you can't tell your dad, you can't tell your fucking, I don't know, your pastor, you can't tell anyone. And so I had to sign 2 NDAs, I had to sign a few other forms. I signed one for like my taxes, because everyone gets paid $500 to do the MrBeast video, whether you win or lose. I mean, you could be on set for literally a minute and a half and walk out of the challenge video. You'll make your $500. You can also, if you win the challenge, whatever prize money you get, you'll also get $500 on top of that. So, of course, since they're paying you, they're gonna, give you a tax form, since, they gotta do taxes. Because I think if you make over, I think 500 is when they start taxing in North Carolina. I could be wrong, but correct me guys if you happen to know what the tax things for North Carolina is. But they give you a tax form, you had to pay taxes, and it wasn't much on it when I had to do my taxes at the end of last year. But I had to do that. What else I had to do? I had to do another NDA for when they released me the address of where it is. I'm not allowed to say where it is. Not allowed to do any of that sort of shit. So I signed all this stuff, and like I said, when I got the call from the lady from the MrBeast crew, it was, I won't say towards like the end of May, like May 20th, you know, like that, and later half of May, because June 4th was when I actually drove out to do the video, which is really cool. I actually got to skip finals for the MrBeast video because I only had 2 finals. It was for my ROTC, but all the seniors did their finals. We were all done, and I had a final exam for English. I totally bullshitted my teacher on why I was leaving. I told my my teacher it was like for a family issue that I physically can't be there for, and I said, can I make this up on a different day? Because if I told my teacher, hey yo, can I skip my final exam to take a MrBeast to be in the MrBeast video? He's gonna laugh and say, yeah, no, I'll see you on whatever date it was. But I told him it's a family thing. I can't skip it. Can I please take it before or after the day? And so I ended up taking the final exam for my English course the day before so I can drive out to the MrBeast video. So I said it was June 4th. So, of course, the 3rd I was packing because they said it's roughly 1 day. But they said bring, a change of clothes or so and just be prepared to possibly stay for 2 to 3 days. You shouldn't, but bring it just in case. So, I packed for 3 days worth of clothes, and I drive out there, and I get to this one place. It used to be an old church. Well, I wouldn't say old church. It looked like the church was built probably mid, 2010s. So it's not old, but it was a church that got turned into, like a studio for MrBeast. So I get there, and since it's 100 boys and 100 girls, there's a ton of cars there. So they give me a time to say, hey, we need you to be here around 1:30 ish. So since I think they got like 20 people, 20, 30, people around that same time slot. So there's only like 20, 30 cars there, because if all 200 people show up at the same time, you're gonna be waiting in line for a long time. And plus they don't have the room for all these cars to park here. So I get there around, what I say, 1:30, 12:30. I get there whatever time it was. And I'm waiting, and after I get there, I roll down my window and, tell them who I is, show them my ID so they know I'm so-and-so competing for the video and not just some random person that showed up. So after they verify that it's me, they have me pull over to the side, and they have to give me a COVID test just because they can't have anyone on COVID. They also said if you did have COVID, fortunately it sucks, but you won't be kicked out of the MrBeast video. You won't be able to participate in this one, obviously, but your name is going to be at the top of the list for the next MrBeast video. And it actually happened to 3 people. 3 contestants tested positive. They had no clue because, I guess they just were asymptomatic. They didn't show any signs of it. They tested positive for COVID, and they said, hey, we're sorry, you can't be in this video. But your 3 names, you're at the very top of the list for the next MrBeast video. And, of course, like I said, your top priority. So you will be the first 3 people that we call or email or whatever. We'll contact you. You're the first 3 people to get in line for this video. So yeah, so after I go, I get my COVID test. It came back negative. They gave me a second address to pull into, and this pulls into like an empty field. And we get there. I mean, because they have ropes off, and then it just says special event on there because of course, if they have a rope labeled MrBeast video, and other people that aren't contested drive by, they'll say, hey, MrBeast is doing a video here. So yeah. I ended up parking there in this open field, and they're like I said, there's 200 contestants, so there's like 200 different vehicles out there. So I parked the vehicle, and when I get there, there's a guy at the entrance to this field. When you pull into from the road, and he says, "All right, you need to leave your cell phone in your car. It has to be powered. Well, I mean, you don't have to power it off, but you just leave it in your car because you're not going to be able to bring your phone with you while you're on set for the video. So leave your phone in your car, and make sure you grab your keys, your wallet, and your bag. That has whatever if you have medicine or clothes, or just bring, the bag that you packed." So I do that. I call my mom and I say, hey, they're making me leave my phone in the car for this video. I don't know how long I'll be here, but, I love you. I'm fine. I got there safe, all that shit. So, after I was done talking to mom, I turn off the phone, put the phone in the car, get out there, get my my bag. And there's like a shuttle bus that takes me down the road to the production set. And I'll show you later what the production set looks like. I can't show you, of course, the full thing because that would go against the NDA that I signed. I'm not allowed to leak where it was, but a YouTuber named Purpled, he quit his Minecraft channel and he's focusing more on in-person content. And he is, he did a vlog with with the MrBeast crew because of course him, Wally Bear, they're friends with Carl since Carl's a Minecraft streamer. So fun fact, Wally and Purpled actually live in North Carolina. They live closer to Greenville. I don't know exactly, of course, I don't know where they live, but he said, hey, him and Wally moved to North Carolina to be, more a part of MrBeast stuff. But Purple did a vlog, walking around the tour, talking about, MrBeast from when he first started to where he is now. And in two of the scenes, that first church where he was at, I'll show you in a second a clip, but that's where we parked in to do the COVID test. The other set where they, mainly film, that's only a few minutes down the road from that that field that we parked in. So there was a shuttle bus that took us. It was literally like 2 minutes away. They drove us down there, and yeah, we get there. And there's this gigantic. There's like 2 or 3 giant white tents. Like if everyone's ever been like a wedding reception, they have a lot of people, like an outdoor wedding. They have these big tents and stuff for people. There's like 2 or 3 of those, and they were filled up with tables. And so I get there. And I go there, and they tell me, to open my bag, because, they got to make sure you don't have any weapon or alcohol or anything you're not supposed to have. So I open up, and they ended up taking away, like, a razor, because I brought, like, a razor in case I had to shave, because I was there for, multiple days. So they said, unfortunately, you can't have that, because it has a razor blade on it. So I ended up having to throw that out. But other than that, I was all good. And they gave me a T-shirt, that blue shirt that all the guys got, and the pink shirt that all the girls got. And I'm getting that, and they gave me 2 tickets, and they had a bunch of food trucks, and said, okay, you have 2 tickets, so you can go, with those 2 tickets, get what you want. And anything you wanted was only 1 ticket, so like you can get whatever food for 1 ticket and whatever drink for 1 ticket. Or if you were super hungry, 2 things of food or 2 things of drinks, whatever you want. I ended up just getting a sandwich and a protein shake while I was there. The food was really good, by the way. And I'm waiting there for like 2 hours, and which sucks because there were some people waiting there since 10 in the morning. Without your phone, without anything to do. Well, they had stuff. They had like some outdoor games. Like they had cornhole. I think they had a horseshoe ring out there. I definitely had cornhole and a few other games. But like I said, there was kids waiting there from 10:30. So I'd imagine how bored they'd be. So I sat down there with a couple other guys and a few girls. We were all just talking because we were all like, man, I think the video is going to be about this. Or no. I think it's going to be like this because he did that, something like that in the past. So we're all just like speculating on what this video is going to be on. And after a while, 2 people from the old crew, it was Tyler and one of the other guys, I forgot his name off the top of my head, but they still work for MrBeast. They're just no longer in the videos. They're more like the behind the scenes. So they do more like either the editing or the scripts or thumbnail, and they do more like behind the scenes work for MrBeast. So they didn't get fired like all these other YouTubers. What happened to Tyler? What happened to Jake the Viking? Jake wasn't there. Of course, he doesn't actually work for MrBeast. He does his own thing, but Tyler was there, and he does more like behind the scenes. It was Garrett. A lot of people didn't know who they were. I knew who they were because I watched the old MrBeast video, and he actually walked up to our table talking, hey, you guys excited for the video? And he sat down, he chatted with us. Tyler and Garrett, they were really nice guys. And yeah, they sat down for about 20 minutes, talked with us. And of course, I was nitpicking their brains because, I'm talking about more like not necessarily the like a fanboy aspect. I was, oh my God, it's you guys, can I get pictures? Wanting to have phones, but I wasn't really more interested in that. I was more like thinking about like as a content creator, that type of, type thing. Because of course, I'm not big like MrBeast, and I don't do in-person stuff, but I'm still like a content creator nonetheless. So I had little questions, just kind of tips and tricks, and because like I said, he does behind the scenes, so he does this type of stuff. So he was kind of answering some questions, which is really cool. But after we're sitting there for about 2 to 3 hours, they finally say, all right, so we're about to start, getting ready for filming, and everyone please, line up, boys, of course, one line, girls on the other line, and we all line up, and of course, 100 boys, 100 girls. It's gonna take a couple minutes to get everyone lined up. After we get all lined up, they walk us into the building, and there's a couple of little smaller side rooms further down the hallway, but they have this big, I mean, if you think of like a school gymnasium, it's probably like about 2 times the size of a large school gymnasium. I mean, it's a big set because this 100 boys versus 100 girls challenge, they had to build 2 separate studios, of course, one for guys, one for girls. But this studio, so this same warehouse, they make other stuff. So as soon as they finish a video, they tear down or scrap all the other stuff, and then they clear it out, they clean it out to make room for the next set. So all the sets are, or not all, but just about all the sets are filmed there. So they had to have a big enough space to do that. We get in there, and they said, all right, everyone, please put your shoes in your bag in one of the cubbies, and here, take this little name tag label and write your name on it and put it on the outside of the cubby. So like for if you're here the next day, and let's say you have like medicine that you need to take, well, you got to let one of us know so we can go and get your bag for you, so you can go in there and grab your medicine. So I didn't have medicine, but I took my shoes off, put my bag in there, and yeah, we get lined up. After about 10 minutes or so of that, MrBeast and the crew, they walk in there and they do their little intro and start talking to us about how it's gonna go, and they end up telling it's 100 boys versus 100 girls for 500 grand. Now, he didn't say this, but of course, anyone with a brain, realize you're not gonna get 500 grand because the 500 grand is split up between 100 guys or 100 girls, whoever wins. So if you win, you only get 5 grand. Now I say only, but 5 grand, that's still a lot of money, and you're literally just chilling out in a YouTube video for 5 grand. So don't get me wrong, it's still a lot of money, and was not disappointed at all. But we walk in the room, and it's just giant. It's a big room. It's a lot bigger in the room than what the actual video makes it look like. But we get in there, it's this giant room with red tape, because you're not allowed to leave the circle. And they have these bright white lights. Every angle. Because if you look up, like if you're at like a concert, for example, and you look up, like all the lights that flash, and they move around, they're on those big metal like cross beams and stuff, so they don't fall off. It was like a giant version of that, and they had these big bright white LED lights up there, and those lights stayed on like 22 hours a day. So when you were in there, you had no clue how long you were in there, what day it was, how many hours, like you didn't know if it was day or nighttime, only for 2 hours of the night. They 22 hours a day they were filming, and they had the lights on. So when you went to sleep, yeah, you were sleeping in the light for part of it. And we're in this thing, and I was in there for over half of it. I ended up getting out on the briefcase, as you see in the clip earlier, because every time Jimmy walks out with a briefcase, there's 10 grand in it. And so I was like, well, if I'm only gonna win 5 grand plus the 500 I get for showing up, or I can walk out instantly, win 10 grand, and possibly, win the 5 grand if the guys win, I'm doing that. So I ended up going out, because the first time the briefcase was empty. The second time they walked in with a briefcase to trick someone, they said, all right, if you grab the briefcase, you can't open it here. You have to open it outside so we can film your reaction and stuff to it. So, I opened a briefcase, and I was the third one. So the second one, the guy walked out. We had no clue what was in it, and it ended up being a box of Reese's Puffs. But, my box had a singular dollar in it. And fun fact, I actually still have the dollar. It's in my wallet. And I have it wrote down as the Jimmy dollar, so I know not to spend it. It's my special MrBeast dollar. But I ended up only winning $1. Well, $501, because unfortunately the boys did lose. We lost by 2 girls, or 2 people. When it was cool, when the video actually started, girls were dropping like flies in like the first 6 hours. We were up by like 15 or 20 off the bat. And then it just got boring, and people left, and one guy pulled the bullshit, oh, I have work tomorrow. And we were asking, like, okay, because maybe he had like a really important business job or high end. Like, hey, where you working at? Work at Chick-fil-A. It's still a job nonetheless, but dude, you're gonna make more in this video. You're gonna do it a day at Chick-fil-A. Yeah, but whatever. So yeah, I had a lot of fun in that video. And fun fact, Carl actually followed me on Instagram until some freaking kid complained about it. Said, oh, it's not fair. You didn't follow me on Instagram. The kid that did the scholarship interview, who they brought in like a suit and tie for this guy, or not a tie, but they brought him a suit for the interview. Yeah, that little fucker ruined it for me. So they came in, and when they weren't filming, they had the crew come in, like Jimmy, Chris, Carl. I didn't see Chandler. I met everyone but Chandler. I guess Chandler was out of town for that day, because they didn't need the crew for it. They only needed MrBeast. So Carl walked in, and I was talking to Carl, because we were talking about some anime and stuff. And I was telling him, hey, since you're a gamer, I don't know if you'd be interested in this. How would you like a custom keyboard? Since for all you guys that know, I do custom keyboards. If you guys saw in the setup video, I have 1, 2, 4, 5. I have 5 or 6 custom keyboards. And he said, yeah, can you show me what they look like? I said, yeah, pull out your phone. So I went to my Instagram, and I showed him some pictures of the keyboards. So, oh shit, yeah, that's really cool. Would you mind making a Demon Slayer theme keyboard for me? I was like, oh yeah, 100%, I can do that easy. I was like, yeah, let me follow you on Instagram. So when the video's done, I'm definitely gonna hit you up in that because I've been looking for a custom board for a while because he was using an old Corsair one. And I was like, dude, fuck yeah, I got it. And so he added me on Instagram, and we were talking about like nerding out about fucking like switches and keycaps and layout boards and all that shit. And this one kid comes over, and it was that kid. Hey, can you follow me on Instagram too, since you followed that kid? And I was like, oh god, he's gonna ruin it for me. And Carl was like, and he pulled me off the side. Dude, I'm sorry, dude, but freaking unfollow, because if I do that, you know, someone's gonna say something, and then everyone's gonna want to follow back, and it's yeah. I was like, no, I understand, dude. And you know, he walks off. You know, after a few minutes, I mean, we still talked after the word, but after when he walks off, I looked at the kid. I'm like, you motherfucker, I'm gonna kill you. You know, I was so pissed off because Carl followed me on Instagram for a few minutes, and then he unfollowed me, which sucked. But that was it. Nolan came in. I ended up throwing a cake at Nolan. That was funny because it was his birthday. But I mean, Nolan was nice, but he was very annoying to say the least. So I ended up throwing a cake at him. He threw a cake for us, and well, he put it outside of the circle where it was like just too far away for us to not reach. And I didn't care about eating the cake because it was been sitting there. I was like, oh, that's nasty. But I thought it'd be funny to throw it at Nolan, you know, for the video. So when they brought in the suit and tie for this kid, I ended up taking the coat hanger because they threw the coat hanger off to the side. I took the coat hanger, and they gave us sleeping bags. And after the contestants left, I was hogging the sleeping bags because, you know, it was only one thin sleeping bag. So when one kid left, I took his sleeping bag. I stuffed it into my other sleeping bag, so like a double layer sleeping bag. Another kid left. I took his sleeping bag, and I turned that into a pillow. So when I was said and done, I had like 3 sleeping bags, and I was just pimped out, just chilling in 3 sleeping bags when I was sleeping. So I was comfortable. But I ended up taking the string out of one of the sleeping bags and tying it to the coat hanger to make like a little rope with a hook so I can throw stuff out of the circle and drag it back in. So I dragged the cake back in there, and Noah walks in the room, and I beam him with the cake, and so all the guys were all laughing and shit. But no one was, you know, messing with us. So I ended up throwing a cake at him. But that was really fun. After that, they kind of just chilled off for a while because they wanted us to be bored to get people to leave. After a while, they ended up bringing in hibachi for one night after feeding us oatmeal for the past two days or like 4 meals. Hibachi was good. What else did they do? A kid won a car because they brought a porta potty for us to use the bathroom, and of course every day they brought in a new porta potty. You know, it was all clean, it was sanitary. But they hung keys up in one of the porta potties, and one of the kids ended up finding it and winning a car, and which led us to think, oh shoot, if that kid won a car from the porta potty, there might be something in the money pit. So me and 2 other kids, we started digging out the money pit, but that ended up being slow because we didn't have anything to scoop it out with just our bare hands. And that money was filthy. So when they're done with the MrBeast video, which is that's one thing I find disgusting, they take all the money and they put it in like a storage crate, like a big shipping container, and the money just sits there in that storage container until the next video. That money is filthy. So I was sleeping in the money pit the first night, and I really didn't realize just how dirty and nasty the money was until I woke up the next morning and I looked and smelled like crap. Not, you know, physical crap. I was like, oh god, I don't look good. So they ended up bringing washcloths and like towels and stuff to clean ourselves, you know, wipe ourselves down. So I ended up doing that. But that money was filthy. So if you ever in a MrBeast video, do not roll around in that money, man. That shit's fucking disgusting. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so we ended up digging the money pit. I ended up breaking the money pit, which they thought it was hilarious because no one's ever like broken shit on set. They thought it was hysterical. I ended up breaking a table. I broke 2 tables. I broke the money pit. I ended up breaking a lot of shit. I was like the demolition expert there. I had a lot of fun in the video. But in the end, they brought the briefcase out, and I was like, fuck it, I'm out. And I was bored anyways, and Mom only thought I was going to be there for a day, so I knew she was worried sick. You know, she was already skeptical in the first place. She was not a big fan of YouTube itself. Not that YouTube is bad, but, you know, since I do YouTube, you know, she's always told me, look, you know, you need to do something that's actually going to, you know, pay, you know, put, you know, food on the table, you know, get the bills paid. So she doesn't really see YouTube as a, you know, successful thing. Yeah, you know, of course I'm working. I'm going to go to school in the fall, and I'm still doing this. I'm not just quitting everything to do YouTube, but, you know, I'm trying out the stuff. But she's not the biggest fan of YouTube. She's not, you know, oh, it's not going to be successful. So why put in all this time and effort into it? So of course she wasn't the biggest fan when I was gone for 3 days for a YouTube video for some MrBeast guy that she never knew, never met, never heard of him before, and she actually thought I was gonna end up freaking kidnapped or some shit. So she panicked really bad. So she was pissed off when I called her. I was, oh my god, what the hell? I told you I couldn't have my phone. Yeah, but you should. After a little bit, she started crying. She's like, okay, well, I'm glad you're safe. And I'm getting home, and all my family's happy because all my family, they're all the same way as my mom. They thought I'd get fucking like kidnapped and sent over the border to Canada or Mexico for some human trafficking shit. They did not believe that this was like a true thing at all. And the video ended up coming out a few months later because every time they film a video, it takes like 2 to 3 months to film. So when it came out in the summertime, I got to show all my friends and stuff, and they're like, "No way, you actually did it. We thought you were bullshitting on it." Because we thought, "Hey, how's Reagan gonna be in a MrBeast video?" So I ended up getting in the video actually, and they watched. They had a fun time watching it. That was hysterical, and yeah, that was how I got into a MrBeast video. If you guys did like this video, then it would mean a lot to me if you liked and subscribe. It really does help me out, and it's free. It doesn't cost you a dime, and like I said, it really does help me out. I appreciate all the support I've been getting recently on my YouTube and my Twitch. Of course, the socials for that are all down below. I've been doing really well on Twitch, and I've been getting probably about 150-ish subscribers in the past month or so. So I appreciate all you guys, and yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.